This episode is brought to you by my one and only food and mood journal. This is an 8-week food and mood journal and planner for beginners where you can track how food affects your mood, your hunger, and your energy levels. Are you sick and tired of promising yourself to stop binge eating? Do you feel out of control with food and you just don't know why you overeat? You might have intense cravings leading to self-sabotage. My food and mood journal is the perfect tool to help you tune into your signals that your body sends you. And by tracking what you eat and drink will help you give insight on how food affects your moods. This is an 8-week kickstart to mindful eating to help you identify the triggers that make you want to eat when you're not physically hungry. So this includes a food tracker, a mood and stress tracker, because we know that stress eating can also lead to overeating. We also have an 8-week goals tracker with journal prompts and affirmations. You'll also track things like your water intake and exercise. It makes a beautiful gift for anyone who feels out of control with food. It's an easy to use journal and it will give you just the insights to help you get on the path to stop binge eating, emotional eating, or any other form of overeating. So get your food and mood journal today by clicking the link in the show notes. Thank you. Welcome to Beyond Overeating by Wholesome Lifestyle Project, the Overeating podcast, where I'll be showing up weekly to share with you what I've learned during my binge eating recovery, helpful tools such as yoga, mindfulness, and energy medicine. My name is Stell, and my purpose is to inform and educate so that you can fast track your recovery in healing your relationship with food and finally trust yourself around the peanut butter jar. Join me as I share top tips, my struggles and triumphs to help inspire or just entertain. Remember, there is nothing wrong with you if you can't stop overeating. That's why I'm here to guide you. Hello, how are you? So good to have you back here on the show. My name is Coombe-Heath, binge and emotional eating recovery specialist, and I help women who really struggle with binge eating, who feel like they are successful in other areas of their life, but they just cannot get this one eating or one situation with eating right. And I help them heal their relationship with food and the war with food and their bodies so that they can feel radiantly confident in their own skin. I am excited this week to share with you just a few tips on just how to navigate the holidays if you are moving into a holiday period. As we record this episode, I just need to check, on the 8th of December. So almost halfway into December. And I understand how we kind of have a lot of build-up towards the end of the year. There's all these events that happen. People want to see you before the end of the year. It's almost like the world is going to end on the 31st of January. And everyone wants to cram in as much socialization and getting together before the end of the year. And sometimes that can be exhausting and also triggering when it comes to binge eating. And last year I did a similar episode. This was again a massive request for people. So I thought I would just revise. If you want to go listen to some more holiday binge eating tips, you can go listen to episode 7, where I actually connect and give you a few tips from a holiday binge eating perspective as well. So I would love to just share with you something that just happened about half an hour before this. I finished an energy healing with a lady who I'm excited to have on the show in a few weeks from now. And it was just such a great way for me to start my day. I don't know if you've ever experienced an energy healer. I'm an energy healer myself. I love giving energy healings, but I have just decided to really invest in myself and give me that space so that I can also heal certain things that I'm currently working on. And I must say, I just felt like such a big shift that kind of overcame me during that session. I feel so much more relaxed, and I'm just actually so excited to be here and talk to you today. So yeah, I think I just wanted to share how important it is to invest in yourself. And sometimes we think that knowing how to stop binge eating is just something that happens. It's just something we innately know, and that it will just kick in when we go on a specific diet, or just kick in when we beat ourselves up. And unfortunately, that's how I felt. I felt like I just needed to find the right eating plan or the right exercise plan, and eventually things will stop. And I know now that it would have still have been in that situation if I didn't choose to invest in my recovery. It's something that's really important to me. And investing in myself is now something that I do regularly. I invest in myself for coaching when it comes to business. I have also just signed up for an amazing personal development course coming up next year, early next year. And every time I go on this journey of investing in myself, there is just such a richness that comes with that. So I encourage you, as we move into this deeper holiday season, I know it's all about, if you believe in Christmas and, whatever the case is, you might be flurrying around doing things for others, gifting other people things. Make sure that you also gift something to yourself, invest in yourself. Whether you buy my food and mood journal, maybe is a quick way for you to get started. My mindful eating course is pretty much on sale, so you're welcome to invest in that as well if you just want to make sure that you're eating more mindfully during Christmas time or during this holiday period. Or, maybe it's asking friends or families to help you invest in a larger program, such as the Rewire Your Overeating Brain program, which I'm excited to say is back in January. On the 10th of Jan, we will have our very first week of the Rewire Your Overeating Brain Mastermind. If you would like to find out more about that, you are welcome to send me a message. Just go to www.wholesomelifestyleproject.com, and you'll find, as you open my website, there's a little purple chat icon in the corner, and sometimes my picture with me holding my cup of coffee, or my coffee cup. Not that I ever drink coffee, but I'm holding my cup, just like inviting you to come and chat to me. So ask questions about the next program, ask what it will involve. If you need to, I will put the waiting list for the Rewire Your Overeating Brain program in the show notes as well, so that you can come and join us in this next round. It's going to be amazing. And just imagine what you can achieve in 8 weeks. My one client this morning said to me that she's in week 5. We're doing a one-on-one program. So her program is just slightly different to the Rewire Your Overeating Brain program. But a lot of the principles kind of follow a similar timeline until the one-on-one obviously lasts a lot for 16 weeks. So we carry on and we build deeper. But she's on week 5, and she just said that she just feels 100% like freedom is just around the corner for her. She's like, I know, Stell, that everything is not perfect right now, but I actually trust that it will be, and I trust that everything will be amazing. And that's what's so great. Her binge eating has come down from binge eating every single day to now only binge eating every odd occasion, so it's really just amazing what you can achieve with just some laser focused help, someone who can give you those steps in the right direction, and also just take things slow, because we kind of got used to this rapid results of dieting or rapid results of whatever fix we've engaged in before. However, true healing takes time, and true habits take time to heal. So I think the more we invest in ourselves, and I'm not just talking about investment financially, I'm talking investing in yourself through time. If you've invested in something, then give it the time it deserves. And often, a lot of people buy online courses, and there's some courses which I have bought and I have never finished. And my agreement with myself now is I don't buy anything unless I'm going to hold myself accountable for that specific course or for that program, and I'm going to show up 100% for myself throughout that. And I'm not quite sure why I'm sharing this. I think it's just probably just a high from the energy healing. But I just feel like it's so great when you actually give yourself that time for healing, for understanding yourself, for self-actualization and growth. Just an amazing and an empowering feeling. So I leave that with you to kind of start thinking about how you can start investing in yourself, in your binge eating recovery this year. And I challenge you not to look at dieting as a solution. We know that dieting is a short-term fix, a little band-aid that will maybe only help for a day or a week. And it's just going to leave you feeling more defeated. So those were my words of wisdom. I should have a little separate section for that. But I wanted to just expand on this idea of holiday binge eating, and the fact that we sometimes think that, or we sometimes feel like we have been so disciplined, or we have just been so careful about what we eat, or just so on all the time, sometimes when it comes to our relationship with food. When we have the smallest gap, like December holidays, or just going on a vacation, taking some time away from your usual experience and your usual routines, it kind of feels like everything just like floats out the window. Everything, all our intentions that we've set for ourselves kind of don't matter in that moment. And that sometimes can be harmful when we are in a binge eating relationship with food, because holidays, yes, they are here for us to relax and be at ease, and I'm all for it. And I always say, if there's only one time a year when mince pies are around, so allow yourself to have the mince pie instead of pining over it, or debating whether you should have it or not have it, or how I should have it. Should I have it and then go for a run, or should I have it and then not eat any salad or like anything else except salad? It just gets yourself into this real complete overwhelm when it comes to food. So allow yourself to have those things. What I'd encourage you to do is just double check in that you don't give yourself permission to binge. Often we don't even notice it. Sometimes binge eating is actually permission based. We give ourselves that time. And I used to have that often, where my binge eating mind, my food zombie brain, actually just said, yay, it's time to binge. Yay, I'm going on holiday. I can just eat whatever I want. I can just binge on those amazing foods that I'm going to have on holiday. So that was already what I kind of built myself up to. And I gave myself the permission to binge. And as amazing as that sounds, that was still like part of the diet mentality, because it said eat as much of the binge food as you can, because come the 1st of January, or the first week you go back to work, that is the week where we're just going to clean out and detox and do whatever you need. So I had this real black and white mentality, like Wagon Wonder, where she just can't really discern between balance or being all in and all out. And that's a real difficult thing to understand, and something that I had to learn. It doesn't just come overnight. It's not something that you read. You can't read a blog post or magazine article and think that it's something that you can just finally understand, because that goes really deeper into our unconscious, into the what's happening under the surface layers of our brains and our conscious mind. So, just be aware of that kind of that permission of binge eating as well. That's just going to aggravate things. So rather be open to enjoying all the holiday foods, including the healthy ones. There's a lot of things like in Melbourne that you might not be able to say, because I'm still recording this video in mid-December in a jumper. But the weather is warming up, which means that there's an amazing array of fresh foods coming out for summer. That's amazing. It's just going to give me so much energy. I look forward to fresh salads, fruit salads, or just different ways in which people prepare different things with like zests and those kind of things. So I really enjoy the seasonal stuff like cherries and those kind of things as well when it comes to December time. So when it comes to holiday time, I think about not just the binge foods that I can have, but also the other amazing foods that can come with that. And weirdly enough, something that never used to happen to me was when it comes to holiday season, I usually every day or every second day will even crave a green juice or just a beautiful crunchy salad. It sounds so strange because it was so foreign to me. I would never have craved those kind of foods when I was going through my binge eating days, because why would I? I was constantly forcing myself to eat those things. I actually never used to drink green juice, to be honest. It's something that's just kind of come, and it just feels like it supports me. So I make green juices often because I enjoy them. And my body actually tells me when she's like, oh yeah, I need some green juice. please organize. So I wanted to quickly talk about just a few things that's going to support you through the holiday seasons. And most of these principles actually apply to the things that you need to look after all other times as well. So that's another thing we do, is we lump holidays into a completely different area, a different way of being, a different way of our awareness. But actually, the way we do holidays is the way we do all other times of the year. And when you understand that and you just cement into the principles, whether it's holidays or not, is really going to help you just build healthy habits around how you feel about food and your relationship with your body. So the first thing that I wanted to talk about today is something that you probably have heard me talk about so much, and that is the fact of making sure that you don't go hungry. There is just such a kind of a thing that happens during the holiday season. Also, like, our routines might not be the same, but it's also one of those kind of carefree situations where we just go, oh, well, who needs meal prep, or who needs to prepare anything? I'll just kind of wing it. And what happens usually is we kind of wing things, and then you get distracted. And the next minute you find yourself extremely hangry. And we never want to get too hangry, because, before my recovery journey, before I even started on a even healthy eating and running journey, I never paid attention to my hunger whatsoever. I never paid attention to eating regularly. I was in a job where I worked from 7 a.m. to some nights 12 p.m. at night. I wouldn't take any food. Like, I would literally live off coffee and cigarettes during the day. And it was a recipe for disaster at nighttime, I tell you, because at nighttime, I just wanted to eat absolutely everything. I had the worst cravings at night. It was just kind of not a great space to be in. So hunger is always one of the first things I check. The food and mood journal is really going to help you over the holiday season. Just make sure and check in with your hunger, because that's actually something I help you track through that food and mood journal. So the second one is be aware of your emotions. Oh my gosh. Okay. So I understand that we have been groomed throughout our lives to kind of squash down our emotions, and it might sound something like this: don't cry, or let me fix that for you when you're feeling upset. It might be something like, don't laugh so loud, or whatever the case is. Like, a lot of us grew up in the 80s, like, we were kind of not allowed to express how we felt when we felt anger or frustration, in form of a tantrum. But, so we've kind of been on this journey where we've lost the ability to tune into your emotions. And through the Rewire Your Overeating Brain Mastermind, we talk a lot about emotional healing. I teach my clients how to understand emotions, how to understand the difference between their emotional hunger and their physical hunger, and then how to support themselves emotionally, which is something we don't get in any eating plan. Yes, I know they talk about mindset, but that mindset's usually in an eating plan or one of those lifestyle programs is almost like that sense of bullying yourself into doing something, like the no pain, no gain kind of slogans, like it's really more of a bullying than actually uplifting in a sense. But when you're in that, you're like, oh yeah, I can definitely be with this no pain, no gain thing. It feels amazing. And sometimes it doesn't. So mindset is very different to dealing with your emotions. The mind and the emotional body, they're two separate things. And so being aware even of your emotions is just a great way for you to start managing and acknowledging that they are there. So I actually help my clients learn what it means to sit with your emotions and be there for it, allow it to express. So usually what happens is we've got like a holiday period where everything is busy. You're running from one thing to the next, from one social occasion to another. You're still cramming in work. You're cramming in all the things that, especially for us here in Victoria, Australia, we've just come out of lockdown. So there's many things that we weren't able to get to, or many places we weren't able to get to. So we cram everything in. And sometimes there's no space for emotions. And often, if we don't make space for our emotions, a lot of nighttime binge eating actually happens at night because of the fact that we haven't really dealt with our emotions. Then we get home in the evenings and we just distract ourselves with television instead of really compressing of what's going on for us. So I like to call it decompress. Allow yourself some time to decompress when you get home. A friend of mine actually used to actually get home from work and she would say to her husband, I just need 10 minutes a day when I come home. I'm not being rude. I am just going to go into my room. I am going to have a shower and I'm going to put on something that helps me feel comfortable. She would do breath work, for example, or she'd have that shower. And then she'd walk in to the house refreshed. She's kind of released herself and released her other part of the day by just doing a cleansing activity like that for her. Now, I'm not saying that you need to take a shower when you get home, but building a little ritual that will help you do that, will help you just reframe and come back into your body, is going to help you feel into the emotions. And a lot of the time emotional stuff can be scary, so it's difficult to even just be with the emotions if you're not sure how. But acknowledgement is amazing. Acknowledge how you feel, or just acknowledge that you feel something but you don't know what it is. Right. So if you don't give yourself time to decompress, you will find comfort in a bag of chips quicker than you can even say cheap as chips. The next thing I wanted to mention is, because the end of the year is such a climatical, I'm not even sure if that's like a right word, but like it's such a climax, right? We build ourselves up and we build ourselves up, and then like all these things happen. With that comes extra cortisol. So extra cortisol, especially at this time of year when we are already high vibe and high stress, it's going to add us to crave more sugars and high energy foods. And why is that? That's because your body needs sugars and high energy foods to run away from danger. And so the body, when you experience these cravings, does not mean that the body is out to get you. Doesn't mean that the body is here to kind of trick you. It's just saying, hey, I'm experiencing stress. Something's coming. I need to make sure that I have the energy to react. So managing your stress levels during the day will really help you to lower your cortisol. And, that can mean different things for different people. But for me, usually managing stress during a workday is actually movement breaks. So I normally work for an hour to 55 minutes to an hour. I get up, I stretch my neck, I stretch my body. Sometimes it involves breath, like where I just take a 2-minute break and I breathe, just allow the body to kind of relax. And that really, really helps me. Another thing that is really important for us to look at is the fact that we sometimes, because of just distraction, but also maybe because you, like us in the Southern Hemisphere, moving into summer, we sometimes become more dehydrated. And which means that our bodies really can feel sluggish. We can feel like we have less energy. And usually that's when we make poor decisions, or when we just have those fuck it decisions where it's like, fuck it, I don't care. This is just happening right now. And last but not least, if you feel like you are eating out of reasons that's not for hunger, just ask yourself, why am I eating? Take a moment and pause and check in. Why am I doing this? Where is this coming from? Sometimes just that little sense of self-inquiry can be super, super supportive and helpful. So those are my tips for this week on the Beyond Overeating podcast by Wholesome Lifestyle Project. I am excited to hopefully hear from you. If you have any questions with regards to podcast episodes, if you want me to answer a specific thing that you're struggling with, also message me on www.wholesomelifestyleproject.com. Go and find the chat button, send me a message, and I will reply to you and get some more details of the question that you've got. Also look out and sign up for the Rewire Your Overeating Brain Mastermind waitlist. You will not regret coming on board next year. I will be opening the doors next week. So this is a great space for you to just really immerse yourself and, buy yourself a little gift this year and make that gift the gift of food freedom. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining me today. Love and light. Mwah. Along the way. Thank you so much for joining me today, and don't forget to share this with all your friends. You can do this by adding this to your Instagram story and tagging me at Wholesome Lifestyle Project, or by simply telling them about it. If you could rate and review on whatever platform you are listening, this will go a long way in helping me get this podcast out there so that I can share my message and help as many women out there struggling with food issues as I can. Don't forget, you can follow me on Instagram on Wholesome Lifestyle Project or connect with me on LinkedIn. My name's Coombe-Heath, and that's where you'll find me on LinkedIn. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.